So this electric skateboard here used to be my main form of transportation, but in Toronto, the pothole cracks on the road have gotten a lot worse. So this was way too dangerous, not to mention that this was really faulty. The motor would sometimes skip. So I later upgraded to this one over here. So this was my next big upgrade, and this was the Xiaomi Mi Cycle. Now this was a great little bike, however, it had a lot of fouls. It was broken from day one. Basically the pedal assist does not work, so it was really disappointing. Thank God it does work. It did work for like a few years. I use it every day to go to the skate park. As you can see, I have the skateboard over here, but this bike has become kind of uncomfortable to use day to day because first of all, I had that issue that I mentioned before, but it's just very slow and I hate the pedal assist. And I also wanted something bigger and a little bit more sturdier to hold my bike in more load. Another electric form of transportation I had was an electric scooter. However, not being able to sit down was really uncomfortable for long rides, so I sold that. So I wanted to upgrade to the MOKWHEEL or MOKWHEEL. So this electric bike is a lot bigger, it's a lot faster, and it's a lot more powerful. So I'm really excited to unbox it, give you my first impression, and then after a month, I'm gonna give you my full honest review near the end of this video. So let's get right into it. Now, of course, we have to assemble this, and I think it's gonna be really easy. All you have to do is attach the front wheel and the handlebar. Now, one thing I really like about this company, MOKWHEEL, is that they have really good educational resources. All their marketing is really nice, and if you go onto their YouTube channel, you can just find the video instructions on how to set this up step by step. So let's unbox this and let's find out how hard it is. So here are some quick tips for the assembly process. Number one, if you're gonna do this in your living room, for example, maybe you don't have a garage like me, you live in a micro condo, I recommend putting some tarp to protect your flooring. So I really recommend using this tool. All right, what do we got here? So it comes with all the tools that are necessary to assemble this bike and some bonuses that I'll talk about a little bit later. For the second tip, as you assemble the bike, immediately use the kickstand. First, set up the handlebar. Turn the bar 180 degrees, screw on the handlebar. Make sure that the plus pattern is facing forward, just like this. Next, you'll attach the bright and colorful LCD display. Before you flip the bike upside down, make sure you tuck away the LCD screen and remove that large capacity battery. In fact, I recommend charging the battery so that when you're done assembling, you're ready to take this bike onto the road. Remove the front wheel axle placeholder. You can throw away the front wheel's axle placeholder. It's only there for shipping safety, so you won't need it anymore. Remove the disc brake protection on the front wheel, and then put on the front wheel and it'll snap right into place, and make sure you align the disc pad. Make sure to tighten both sides equally with the wrench so that the wheel is installed centered. If you still have some slight disc brake rubbing, don't worry, that's totally normal. It's a really quick fix. All you need to do is recenter your disc brakes. I'm actually gonna share a separate video in the description of this video if you wanna check that out if you run into that issue. For the last final steps, screw on the front fender through the front light, use the included wrench to screw on the pedals, and attach one remaining screw on the rear rack, which is already pre-installed, and you're pretty much ready to go. Put on that charger and have some fun. So the assembly process was surprisingly really easy. It only took me about 30 minutes. I have to say, I was very happy that it included all the necessary tools and accessories. You get your Allen keys, your wrenches. They even throw in some extra disc brake pads and even a pump, which is quite amazing. All these tools are actually worth a lot of money, and I have to say, they're really good for maintaining your bike into the future. The included charger is a 3 amp charger, so we're getting almost up to 162 watts of charging power. This is extremely fast and very appropriate for this size of battery. Speaking of the battery, it has a 705 watt-hour battery, which is nearly 3.4 times bigger than the smaller battery of the Xiaomi Qi Cycle. So when it comes to pumping the tires, I found it a little bit weird that in the instructions manuals, it recommends 20 PSI, whereas when you look on the actual tire itself, I believe it's anywhere from 30 to 60 PSI. So I pumped my tires to 40 PSI and they have been great. Keeping your tires pumped to the proper pressure will help you avoid flats, and it will also help you with your mileage. So now that the bike has been set up and I've had a really good chance of testing it out, let me explain why I think this is an amazing bike. First of all, this is a beautiful finish. This is the Asphalt color. It comes in 3 other colors, but I have to say the finish is absolutely amazing. But what I really like about it is all the attention to detail, and most specifically, it's the pre-installed fenders. And I just love the fact that you can ride this in the rain and not get all your clothes dirty, especially if you're going to use this for urban commuting to your daytime job. Now, if you look at all the cables over here, I have to say they did an amazing job. Everything just feels really well polished. It comes with a 500 watt motor over here, and that is plenty to go up hills and stuff like that. So that's one of my favorite features is just how powerful it is. And me coming from a smaller folding electric bike has been a great change. Honestly, I love the fact that I can go up hills without any pedal assist or anything. I can just hit the throttle. And speaking of the throttle, that is one of my favorite features over here. Just pressing down will let you not have to do anything. It's really, really nice. This is honestly like a vehicle for driving around in the urban environment. Right now, I'm in Toronto. Canada is notorious for potholes because we have 4 seasons and the cold will cause some serious damage, as you can see in this footage right here. This can handle potholes because of its large 27.5-inch wheels. And most importantly, it has these amazing shocks over here that really absorb all the potholes in Canada. If you want to adjust the shock, you can change your setting over here. Now you have some really nice faux leather handle grips, and I really like the fact that it's so easy to just feel everything. This is a wider handlebar, so you're gonna get a more of a comfortable ride for long periods of time. So I actually like that. And of course, it's customizable. You can just use this Allen key over here and you can set many different settings. You can have it more aggressive, more towards the front, or you can have it back, so more laid back. So I really like the pedals of this bike. They are very, very sturdy. They're not made of plastic. They're made of like really heavy duty steel. So they'll not snap off or break anything. Nothing's cheap about this bike. These are really high quality. So you do have a horn built in, and it's by law you need some kind of bell or indicator. If I press it, it is pretty loud, and it's definitely a nice addition. It's nice that you don't have to worry about some kind of mechanical bell or anything like that that might wear out or break. So if you want to turn on the light, it's very easy. You just tap this, and then you're gonna see the light indicator. And I have to say the lights are actually really, really bright and very, very useful. This is all about safety. So I love that as a front light. It's got a reflector as well. And on the back, you have a rear light. Whenever you hit the rear brake, it will show the red light. So it indicates that you are stopping. That is a very nice feature. Now this is a really high duty kickstand. It supports a ton of weight, especially when I have all my cargo. Like for example, I got like my 8-pound skateboard on it. Now my next favorite thing, I'm just gonna skip all the technicals and just go right into the bike rack. Now this is the creme de la creme of all the features that I like about this electric bike. And this, most importantly, I can go to a skate park, I can strap on my skateboard, I can put a little rack over here. Bought this off Amazon for like 20 bucks, and I can carry my food if I'm doing my own personal food delivery for myself. This is a really great add-on. And the fact that it comes with a built-in rack is amazing. You don't have to install it, everything comes out the box. Now, if you want, you can put some pannier bags on the side so you can even have more storage. And they do have room for a front basket. So you can install it. There's 4 screw holes over here. You can put a front basket and then you can have even more storage. So this is a really good cargo bike. It's not just for transportation in the urban environment. It's really, really good for just carrying a lot of stuff. And for the Uber Eats and DoorDash and all those people who love to do delivery for a side income, it is a great gig bike. Obviously, you can buy this, expense the taxes and towards your income, because this is a really good investment. You need something that's really reliable and isn't gonna fail on you when you're doing your delivery routes. And part of the reliability comes from this ginormous battery. Now this battery is ridiculously large. It is in fact more than 3 times larger than my old Xiaomi portable bike, electric folding bike. And I have to say the mileage on this is absolutely amazing. It can last. I'm a pretty big heavy guy. Of all this gear, I'm like 250 pounds. And by the way, the max capacity of this bike is 400 pounds. So this thing is built like a tank. But yeah, this battery is amazing. I've been riding on it for just more than 18 kilometers and I barely put a dent in the battery. So that is absolutely amazing. So when you're riding on an e-bike for a long time, especially this one because it has such amazing mileage, you really want a good seat. And MOKWHEEL did not cheap out on the seat. This has a suspension seat. It's very nice and wide. And I find that for long rides, it's very, very comfortable. Now, in terms of the wheels, these are really high quality, puncture resistant wheels. They're called Hippo Skin, and they're made with like an aramid fiber, I believe. But basically these are really puncture resistant. They should last a long time. And I like they're not the fat tires. I don't really like fat tires, especially in an urban environment. But they're still quite wide to provide you a stable ride. The wheels also have a reflective coating on the sides so that you can be seen at night. This is a really good safety feature. So this wouldn't be a premium bike if it did not include disc brakes, and thankfully it does. And I've noticed that the deceleration or stopping is very, very smooth. And if I'm going really fast, I have no doubt that this is going to save my life if I have to stop really quickly. So you can see there's lots of places to put little accessories if you want to put your bike lock here, for example. And I like that this is a thin post. This is a really good locking mechanism over here, so you can just lock your bike. So here you have some really high quality gear shifters, and these are very easy to use. If you want to go full speed, maybe it's number 7, you can go really fast with this bike. So you have multiple levels of pedal assist. Right now it's set to 0, and I can press these up and down arrows, and I can go all the way to 5. The higher the pedal assist, the faster or the quicker it'll kick in when you start pedaling. Now I just like to use the throttle over here. That's to me the most fun, so I don't have to pedal at all. So as you're riding the bike, this outer wheel will show the power of the motor. So right now we're obviously not moving, so there's going to be no indicator there. You have the trip mileage, and this is per trip. You can reset the trip so that you can keep track of your metrics. Right now, this is the total time I've been using this bike. And of course, it's set on eco mode. I don't think I can change that. I didn't see that anywhere on the settings. And this is just the time. So basically how long has the bike been on. The way the battery indicator works is that there are 10 of these. It's kind of hard to see, but there are 10 bars, and each bar is worth 10%. So 60%, we're at almost 25 kilometers riding this bike, and I've been using this here in the throttle mode. So I've just been hitting the throttle. I haven't been really doing any pedal assist or anything like that because I'm a lazy guy, and I am very impressed with the mileage. If you want to go into more advanced menus and reset things, you can go into a couple different settings. So for the first basic settings, you can hold down the up and down key. You can hold it down, and then we'll take you to a basic menu. You can adjust the brightness of the screen. You can change the unit. So if you're in America, you can change it to miles. Right now I just have it set to kilometers because we're in Canada. Now startup mode means if you're in free mode, that means you can hit the throttle without the motor, or sorry, without the wheels being engaged. And if you want it on safe mode, that means that if you accidentally hit the throttle while this bike is stationary, it's not going to move. But I like to just be from a standstill and just hit the throttle right there. Here you can reset your trip. So if you want the stats to be reset back to 0. So this is a camera that complies with Canadian law. It taps out at 18 miles per hour, and you got your 500 watt motor spec over here. So this is built legal in Canada, and there's a setting that you can change the speed. You can actually go into the technical settings and change the speed. So holding the up and down and the light button, you can see we get the more advanced settings, so technical settings. So you can set the speed limit, which is interesting. This is set to Canadian laws, so it goes, I think, only up to 31 kilometers per hour. But I'm gonna set it to 40 and see if that actually changes anything. You can change the pedal assist, gear 5, gear 3. Now the voltage level is very interesting. This is a very powerful bike. We're set to 48 volts, which is already really fast for an e-bike. So I think that's more power than you need in terms of like the torquiness of it. 36 is when you get one of those cheaper bikes, so if you set it 36, it's gonna be a little less powerful. Other things you can set is the wheel diameter. I have already set to 27.5, that's correct. And then techno magnets, I think that's for the pedal assist. I don't want to mess around with that. Riding modes, you can set it to only pedal assist only, so that if you really want to exercise and not be tempted to use the throttle, then that might be a good option for you, but I like both. Intensity setting, I'm just gonna keep it at the original, and then you can factory reset it. So I just got the bike to 37 kilometers per hour while pulling the throttle. This is a very fast bike. This is really nice if you got a long straight path and you just want to go really, really fast and just, you cover a lot of distance in such a short amount of time. So I find being able to increase the maximum speed to be a safety feature. Let me explain why. When I'm commuting in an urban city environment, I want to maintain traffic flow. So being able to quickly accelerate to 40 kilometers and then maintain traffic with other cars means that I can occupy a full right lane and not slow down traffic. So this means that I don't have to go tight towards the curb, and I can actually maintain my safe distance with other cars. Also, having that fast speed, that fast acceleration is also very important when you want to clear an intersection. And because this bike is so well built and so sturdy, I find going at faster speeds very comfortable and very stable. I also found the acceleration to be perfectly balanced. It's not too jerky, but it's not too slow. It just feels very nice when you want to pull on the throttle. So this is where I store my bike, and I have to say, even though it's a huge full-size bike with 27.5-inch wheels, it fits very nicely. I can pretty much hide it, and the footprint is rather small in my micro apartment. Now, if you're going to be taking this bike in and out in tight spaces, I definitely recommend investing in this little doorstop. So because I love this bike so much, I really wanted to pimp it out with a lot of accessories, and your first accessory is probably going to be a bike lock. I recommend the Kryptonite Evolution lock. It has an inner spacing of 4 by 9 inches. It provides a decent amount of space to get the rear wheel and the tube onto a rack. And by the way, for all these accessories, I will leave a link in the description. You can check them out there. My next favorite accessory was the Bike Case adjustable bike cage. And what it is, it just holds my bottle, but since my bottle is so large, it's the 1 liter Nalgene bottle that has a really large diameter. I needed a specific type of bottle cage holder that I could strap on to my bike, and this one was excellent. Now, in order to mount the bottle cage onto your bike, you can use the official Anywhere strap. I found that a little bit too expensive, so I went on Amazon and I bought a really cheap adapter, and yeah, it was really easy to install onto my handlebar. Now, I mentioned this before, but really important accessories are, of course, taking advantage of that rear rack. I bought a Pannier bag, which is really inexpensive. You can buy that on Amazon, or you can buy it from MOKWHEEL. I also bought a front basket, repurposed it onto the rear rack. I use zip ties to quickly install it, very, very simple. And I can mount my skateboard thanks to the weird kind of front basket installation piece that is supposed to be for the front basket. That's one case. And of course, you can buy a real front basket from the official MOKWHEEL website to extend even more cargo. And because I love this bike so much and I want to use it a lot, maybe I want to do a quick run to McDonald's and pick up some food, I bought a little cheap USB alarm that's rechargeable. I've tested the alarm and it's quite good. It's quite loud. So if I'm in the store in McDonald's getting my coffee and someone's messing around with my bike, I can hear and react right away. So in conclusion, I have to say the MOKWHEEL Asphalt step-through model is an excellent bike. I love the fact that it can go to 39 kilometers per hour, which really helps keep up with the local city traffic, especially in an urban environment. The best part of this bike is that it rides very comfortably. I love the fact that I can sit on it and just pull on the throttle and go up really steep hills and not have to pedal and not waste my time. So that's my review of MOBike's Asphalt Step Through. This is an amazing electric bike. I do recommend checking it out. I'll leave links in the description. And if you have any questions or comments, please let me know in the comment section down below. I will see you in the next video.